Okay, so let's talk about the National Association of Realtor lawsuit ordeal.
NAR, right. Okay,
NAR.
Let's talk about that. Okay, so what happened was there were some home sellers in Missouri who felt that they were forced to pay a buyer agent commission, and they felt like some national brokers had colluded and made it so that they didn't have any options on that. So they sued everybody. So they sued the National Association of Realtors, they sued the brokers, and they won.
Okay, so what does all this change mean for buyers and sellers?
So in general, it doesn't change a lot in that sellers still want an agent to help them sell a property, and buyers still want an agent to help them buy a property. It's a big deal. People don't do it every day, and it's the largest financial transaction that most people do in their entire lives. Where it does change is on the buyer side. There's going to be a buyer contract required, and this is coming down from the state. Listing contracts are required already. Buyer contracts had not been required, but they are now going to be required. And in that contract, it's going to define the responsibilities of the agent, responsibilities of the buyer also, and what the compensation package looks like. Same thing from a listing standpoint. It defined what a seller was going to do, what a listing agent was going to do, and what the compensation package was going to look like. So the parties are still going to be involved. It's just going to be more transparent, which is a good thing.
Okay.
Now, I should also add in here, this is all proposed. The Department of Justice has to sign off on this. And right now, the people who are working in this are telling us it's about a 50-50 chance that this is actually going to get signed off on. There may be more requirements from the Department of Justice once they review this case.
Okay, so there's still changes to come.
Still changes potentially coming. We're all trying to be proactive on it, and we see what's coming in this summer as far as what the Metropolitan Indianapolis Board of Realtors in the state of Indiana is requiring. So we're prepping for that. But the Department of Justice has not signed off on this case, and the temperament of that judge is as much separation between the buyer and the seller and the agent as possible. Yeah.
So what about people who say that they don't need a buyer's agent, that they can just go buy a house?
So I think there's three different types of people. There's the discount person, always been there. We've had discount agents, discount sellers and buyers, and for them, they just don't place a lot of value on the knowledge and other items that somebody might bring to the table. Then there's the value person, they value all that. And then there's the luxury person, and they want more services added on to just the transaction. That's always been and always will be. I think for an agent, what that means is we have to be able to demonstrate our value to you. And if we can't communicate that in a 1 or 2 sentence on why I'm valuable to you, then you're probably going to end up discounting your commission.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's your experience?
I will say the very first home my husband and I bought, and we were in our mid-20s, and so we had no idea what we were doing. We were selling, moving from an apartment, buying a home. And we ended up actually having an awesome realtor. And we had a very low budget, so we looked at so many houses. And it just was we were just not having good luck.
Right.
So we finally found one in a small little town. It was a super cute old Victorian house that had been redone inside. And we put an offer on it, got accepted. We got to do the inspection. And I am so thankful that she wrote our offer with stipulations. And one of them that was, if there are any major structural defects, then you will be released from the contract. So during the inspection, our inspector, I was there,
right.
and she crawled up into the space to look at the roof, and she was like, "You do not want this house." And I was like, "What?"
But it's cute.
Yeah, I was like, "It's so cute. Everything's been redone, right?" She's like, "All of the rafters on the roof are charred. This had a major house fire." And the seller had not disclosed it at all whatsoever.
Right.
And so because our realtor had known that, there's things you can't see in an inspection, and she wrote that in, then we weren't forced into that contract to buy that
Right.
house. That could have been a disaster because that was completely unsafe. And, she also got to teach that other realtor, the seller's agent, who was, from my understanding, fresh and new, like there are legal obligations to things that you have to
Right.
do, and you can
That's
get in
right.
big, big trouble if you do not disclose
Yeah.
things like this. And so, like, for me, that's something that I wouldn't have known what to do. I just would have been stuck.
Right.
And if she hadn't been there to write all of those little details into the contract to protect you from a legal standpoint, I don't know all that legal jargon. So I was just very thankful for that. And I remember
Well-
I'm like, I will happily pay your commission.
Right, right.
Because you saved
saved
my
the
butt.
dollars,
So,
As in general, the older I get, the less I know.
okay.
When I was a younger guy, I knew everything, and I would take on things, and I'd find out I'd end up in a big bear trap, whether it was working on a car or a house or whatever. So at this point in my life, and as I grow older, if I come across something that requires a new tool, I'm not doing it because I got to learn something new, and I find value in somebody who already owns the tool and knows how to do it.
You're humble enough to say, I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know.
I need someone who does.
Right.
And
I'll
that
pay for
is what you pay for with a buyer's
Right.
agent.
I used to work on cars all the time, and now, changing the oil is not like it used to be. And so, they do it every day. Let them do it, and let them do it well. And the other thing that it does is it shifts risk. So you go do it yourself. Again, it doesn't matter if it's housing or buying a home or working on a home or working on your car. If you do it, it's all on you, and the risk and the
Yeah.
consequences are on you. But if you pay somebody else to do it, now the risk is on them, and that it's an insurance policy to have that risk transferred from me to you.